I took the course, I guess it was
Many
a little
moons
over a
ago.
year. What's that?
Many moons ago.
It was about a little over a year ago. It was last summer, summer of 23. Right after that, I started, realized kind of the depth of my financial woes. I had what turned out to be $135,000 in unsecured debts and
Uh-huh.
obligations due to my divorce. I've been able to pay off 85% of that, so 115,000. So,
Wow, man.
um,
That's awesome.
yeah, so that was a huge boulder on my back. I didn't realize, I did realize it, but I just didn't know how I was gonna find my way out of it. And now that I have a lot of it, and I have line of sight to the remaining 20,000 to be able to pay that off with it easily within the next 12 months. It's really freed me up with um, being able to give more generously. So that's kind of more of a recent thing. I've just felt a lot more free, and that giant hole that I had dug myself in actually is not so bad anymore. Like I've been able to find my way out of it. But yeah, this time last year was a pretty dark time, and it seemed like it was getting worse.
Hmm.
Um, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I've been in a much different place recently. One of the things I was praying throughout that time, like this time last year, and I was reading the Psalms a ton.
Hmm.
I was having tons of panic attacks and anxiety attacks and stuff like that. But I got the sense that God was saying sustain in abundance. I just kept
Hmm.
hearing those words over and over again, and just trusting that He would help me find a way out of it, and He did. I trust that He did. Um, I won't lie. I don't want to go back to that situation. It was a
Yeah.
darkest valley, in a lot of ways. But I do feel like He did sustain me and provided abundance just when I needed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was um, scary, but also exciting to kind of come out more on the other side of that. I'm not fully out of it yet, but I'm like I can see the promised land, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Ben, man, I'm so proud of you. I remember you, I mean, you just did such a great job and you were one of the most coachable people we've had. You're not like a bunch of like flashy, like, hey guys, like, let me, like you're just like steady Eddie. Like, like I'm just gonna put my head down and do the stuff. And you did what we said to do and you didn't fight and argue your way through everything. And yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's just, I miss seeing your face because I'm like, I saw, I was like, wait, who's, I was like, Ben, oh man, like he crushed it. You did such
Yeah.
a great
Thanks.
job. So,
Yeah, like this time last year, I was super depressed. I was in litigation with my ex-wife. She was dragging me back into court, so divorce was part of that story. And my credit had sunk. I was always above 800 credit, Jeremy, and my credit score, and I was like probably 600. I was just watching my score plummet. Not that your credit score is everything, but it was just making me worry. I was like, man, am I
mm,
gonna have to like declare bankruptcy and all this crap? And go through all the humiliation of that that I thought would happen, and I didn't have to do that. And now like I said, a lot of that debt is relieved, and my credit is actually rebuilt, and I'm about a 780 or so, so pretty significant changes just from
mm.
getting rid of that debt. Automatically my scores just went up, and now I'm thinking of uh, options to invest in properties and buy a house. Kind of in a transition period with sort of being an empty nester, not quite yet. My kids
Mhm.
are young adults, so still figuring out where they're going to land. But it's just opened up a lot more possibilities for me to think about what's next for me.